Hello, fellow style explorers. In this video, we're heading into the fascinating world of abstract styles, where shapes, textures, and visual rhythms take center stage over realism. These are the kinds of styles that can turn a simple prompt into something unexpected, leaning on mood and structure rather than recognizable scenes. As always, I started the exploration with my baseline test. A horizontal 16 by 9 image prompted only with the period symbol, using the seed number 777 to keep things consistent. This helps reveal the style's core personality without any subject influence. Then I pushed them further by creating vertical 916 compositions with 4 different prompts: leaf, sphere, fractal, and mime. These were chosen to cover organic, geometric, complex, and figurative ideas, so we can see how each abstract style adapts across categories. If you're experimenting yourself, you can recreate them by adding --SREF and the style number to your prompt, and turning personalization off to match my results more closely. Abstract styles are always unpredictable, so I'm curious to see which ones you'll find inspiring. Let's take a closer look. 1.6. Ultraviolet graffiti bloom. Explosions of electric pink, deep violet, and streaks of neon orange and blue collide in a fusion of painterly strokes and graffiti energy. Drips, sweeping marks, and fragmented lettering give it a raw, kinetic atmosphere that feels both chaotic and intentional. The vertical grids carry this charged energy well, each subject immersed in the same vivid palette and expressive layering. Leaf and sphere blend organic shapes with fluid abstraction, their forms glowing against the visual turbulence. Fractal pushes the complexity furthest, while mime introduces a human element that slightly softens the chaos yet remains firmly within the style's rhythm. 3.1. Chromatic orbital Flora mosaic. A carnival of color spills across the frame, with saturated blues, pinks, yellows, and greens arranged in playful, almost candy-like patterns. Rounded shapes, floral bursts, and soft gradients give it a cheerful, tactile quality that feels both surreal and inviting. In the vertical grids, each subject fully embraces the saturated palette and dense, rounded detailing. Leaf and sphere merge seamlessly into the bubbly, patterned environment, their forms popping without losing harmony. Fractal amplifies the style's depth with layered organic clusters, while mime becomes a striking focal point, its human features painted in the same vivid geometry, bridging the abstract and the figurative. 3.4. Emerald Ember Motion Blur. Copper, emerald, and deep gold twist together in molten ribbons, their movement frozen in a dance of flowing lines and radiant bursts. The blend of silky gradients and energetic streaks gives it a vibrant, organic elegance. The same earthy palette and sweeping motion carry through each subject, binding them in a shared visual rhythm. Leaf and sphere feel perfectly at home in the swirling currents, their shapes accentuated by the metallic tones. Fractal heightens the sense of energy with radiating patterns, while mime's painted faces ground the abstraction in a subtle human presence. 4.5. Temporal gradient, silhouette blur. Soft gradients of cerulean, gold, and violet dissolve into one another, creating dreamlike transitions between form and emptiness. Gentle blurs and streaks of light give the imagery a weightless, almost meditative quality. Each subject inherits this serene, ethereal atmosphere, wrapped in the same smooth fades and luminous tones. Leaf and sphere appear suspended in gentle motion, their edges dissolving into color. Fractal channels the style's flow into radiant bursts, while mime captures fleeting, ghost-like figures that deepen the sense of transience. 4.8. Radiant Grain Mosaic. Bold swathes of orange, fuchsia, teal, and black collide in a dense patchwork of textures, from rough crosshatching to smooth color swirls. The result is loud, kinetic, and layered, with a handcrafted, almost textile-like, richness. That same explosive energy threads through all subjects, uniting them in pattern and palette. Leaf and sphere showcase crisp shapes against the chaos, while fractal amplifies the layered motion into dynamic surges. Mime stands out with expressive faces breaking through the vivid noise, adding a dramatic focal point to the abstraction. 110. Dynamic Seashore Colorfield Abstraction. Brush strokes of golden ochre, deep blue, and white merge into fractured landscapes, with abstracted forms suggesting harbors, sails, and distant horizons. The painterly textures shift between soft blends and sharp edges, creating a balance of structure and spontaneity. This interplay of color and texture carries through each subject, maintaining the same layered, expressive quality. Leaf and sphere stand out as refined focal shapes within the loose compositions, while Fractal expands the fragmented rhythm into more complex arrangements. Mime brings the most narrative energy, its figures emerging from the abstract backdrop like characters stepping onto a stage. 155. Surreal Red-Blue Landscapes. Billowing clouds of crimson and electric blue swirl in deep black space, their forms shifting between smoke, light, and ethereal landscapes. The contrast between vivid highlights and velvety shadows creates a moody, cinematic intensity. This interplay of color and atmosphere shapes every subject, keeping them firmly within the same surreal current. Leaf and sphere feel sculpted from vapor and light, their surfaces glowing against the dark void. Fractal channels the swirling motion into explosive bursts, while Mime adds a haunting human element that heightens the drama. 168. Monochrome Liquid Fractal. Black and white forms emerge from sleek, reflective surfaces like sculptural ink blooms, blending fluid curves with sharp, organic silhouettes. The restrained palette sharpens every contour, lending the scenes an otherworldly sense of stillness. That refined, high-contrast aesthetic runs through all subjects, each shaped into intricate monochrome designs. Leaf and sphere reveal delicate surface patterns that gleam under the light. Fractal branches into more elaborate interwoven structures, while Mime stands as a living sculpture, part human, part abstract creation. 171. Modular Geometric Mosaic. Interlocking shapes in shades of rust, navy, cream, and steel blue form a precise geometric tapestry. Smooth gradients and clean divisions give the compositions a sense of architectural order and modern elegance. This structured aesthetic shapes every subject, with each rendered as a bold arrangement of modular forms. Leaf and sphere become striking design objects, their contours defined by crisp color blocks. Fractal transforms into a layered geometric burst, while Mime takes on a sculptural, almost cubist presence within the grid. 226. Geometric Abstract Painting. Warm shades of terracotta, blush, cream, and black flow through smooth geometric shapes, arranged with a playful yet balanced rhythm. The clean forms and soft, matte textures give the compositions a retro-modern charm. That cohesive color language and structured flow extend across all subjects, turning each into a stylized design element. Leaf and sphere become striking graphic motifs, while Fractal takes on a bold, symmetrical dynamism. Mime adopts an abstracted figurative style, its presence blending seamlessly into the geometric landscape. 230. Neon Glitch Digital Abstract. Bands of vivid neon pink, orange, yellow, and green blaze against deep black, creating a stark, high-energy contrast. The crisp horizontal gradients and sharp silhouettes give the style a bold, almost digital glow. This striking interplay of color and shadow defines every subject, transforming leaf and sphere into luminous graphic icons. Fractal takes on a jagged electric quality, while Mime becomes a vibrant silhouette, its figure radiating in the same, pulsating spectrum. 249. Procedural Gradient Sculpture. Soft, undulating forms in coral, teal, and indigo interlace like organic sculptures bathed in shifting iridescence. The fine texturing and smooth gradients give the imagery a fluid, almost underwater quality. That same organic fluidity shapes every subject, turning leaf and sphere into luminous, tactile objects. Fractal expands the layered motion into intricate, petal-like structures, while Mime appears as a serene figure half submerged in this surreal, flowing environment. 292. Tactile Shape Abstraction. Matte shades of forest green, cream and wood grain are arranged into clean geometric forms, their textured surfaces giving a handcrafted, gallery-ready feel. The compositions balance simplicity with tactile richness, evoking paper, collage, or fabric appliqué. This material-like precision shapes all subjects, making leaf and sphere appear as curated design pieces. Fractal introduces more intricate layering without straying from the minimalist tone, while Mime reads as stylized cutouts, figures defined entirely by the same sculpted shapes and textures. 295. Retro Geometric Abstract. Bold blocks of teal, mustard, and coral sit against warm cream paper, their slightly uneven edges and layered shapes evoking vintage screen prints. The compositions feel playful yet balanced, with a tactile charm that suggests handcrafted posters. That retro palette and print-like texture unify every subject, turning leaf and sphere into striking graphic emblems. Fractal captures the same energy in rhythmic, radiating forms, while Mime adopts a lively cutout style, its figures exuding the same nostalgic vibrancy. 297. Neutral Biomorphic Canvas. Soft taupes and warm creams form flowing organic patterns, their raised textures catching light like sculpted fabric. The palette's restraint and the tactile detailing create a calm, gallery-like presence. That serene minimalism shapes every subject, from leaf and sphere with their gentle surface relief to Fractal's intricate, lace-like arrangements. Mime becomes a quiet, sculptural figure, blending seamlessly into the neutral environment while still carrying a subtle theatricality. 303. Bold Primary Drip Pop. Splashes of primary colors burst across worn, off-white surfaces, mingling with playful silhouettes and rough, hand-painted forms. The style feels raw and spontaneous, with a childlike energy underscored by visible texture and imperfections. That unpolished vibrancy carries into every subject, giving leaf and sphere a lively, almost folk art character. Fractal becomes a burst of exuberant color, while Mime takes on a whimsical, cartoon-like presence, figures rendered with the same, loose, joyful brushwork. 311. Cotton Candy Cosmic Mandala. Soft layers of rose, lavender, and pale aqua form intricate, symmetrical patterns, their gauzy textures giving the impression of woven fabric or cosmic lace. The overall effect is dreamy and ethereal, with a gentle radiance that feels almost meditative. That delicate intricacy extends to every subject, rendering leaf and sphere as airy, ornamental designs. Fractal blooms into layered mandalas that enhance the hypnotic symmetry, while Mime appears as a mystical figure wrapped in the same celestial tapestry. 354. Amber Mist Watercolor Wash. Radiant washes of amber, gold, and green flow together in translucent layers, occasionally interrupted by inky shadows and delicate outlines. The effect is warm and atmospheric, like sunlight diffused through tinted glass. This glowing fluidity touches every subject, turning leaf and sphere into softly luminous forms with subtle textural details. Fractal spreads the light in dynamic, organic shapes, while Mime blends tender portraiture with the style's sunlit haze. 385. Glossed Scarlet Blur. Lustrous shades of crimson and ruby sweep across the frame in silky gradients, accented by flashes of bright white highlights. The polished, reflective quality gives the imagery a sleek, high-gloss allure. This liquid-like sheen defines all subjects, with leaf and sphere appearing as sculpted, light-catching forms. Fractal transforms into flowing, feathered patterns, while Mime emerges in dramatic, almost cinematic lighting that amplifies the glossy intensity. 423. Monochrome Shape Study. Matte blacks and warm beiges form bold, minimalist silhouettes, their flat shapes and clean edges recalling mid-century modern prints. The interplay of solid forms and negative space gives the compositions a quiet, sculptural sophistication. This stark elegance extends to every subject, with leaf and sphere becoming striking graphic emblems. Fractal interprets the style through layered, abstracted forms, while Mime emerges in expressive poses, its figure shaped entirely by the interplay of light and shadow. 480. Marbled Organica Loop. Soft pink and cream marble swirls through organic sculptural forms, their polished surfaces catching light with a subtle sheen. The shapes balance natural fluidity with crafted precision, evoking fine art installations. That same refined materiality defines every subject, with leaf and sphere appearing as elegant carved pieces. Fractal becomes a series of intricate, interwoven structures, while Mime takes on the presence of marble figurines. Graceful, detailed, and timeless. 498. Inkstroke Abstract Motion. Splashes of crimson, black, and burnt orange erupt over cream backdrops, merging dynamic brushwork with precise ink lines. The style feels both chaotic and deliberate, balancing expressive motion with fine structural details. That fusion of spontaneity and control shapes every subject, giving leaf and sphere an energetic, windswept quality. Fractal becomes a vivid explosion of layered strokes, while Mime appears as if caught mid-performance, its figure alive within the storm of ink and color. 509. Ultrablock. Color geometry. Bold planes of deep navy and vivid orange dominate the compositions, with crisp edges and occasional textural breaks, adding dimension. The high contrast palette and clean geometry give the work a striking, modern presence. That graphic clarity shapes every subject, turning leaf and sphere into sleek, emblematic forms. Fractal radiates in sharp, rhythmic bursts, while Mime appears as a living extension of the palette, faces, and clothing divided into the same bold, color-blocked design. 513. Ink Wash Terrain Pulse. Vivid washes of emerald green flow across pale paper, punctuated by deep black ink strokes and splashes of cobalt. The loose yet deliberate brushwork evokes traditional ink wash painting with a bold, contemporary palette. This balance of fluid motion and strong contrast runs through every subject, giving leaf and sphere a calligraphic elegance. Fractal interprets the style with branching organic forms, while Mime emerges in expressive gestural portraits that merge seamlessly with the surrounding washes. 540. Luminous Petal Glass Mosaic. Jewel-toned leaves in sapphire, ruby, emerald, and gold layer together in dense, glowing arrangements, each one softly illuminated as if lit from within. The effect is rich and immersive, with a fantastical, storybook warmth. That luminous foliage defines every subject, transforming leaf and sphere into radiant, textured ornaments. Fractal unfolds in sweeping petal-like patterns, while Mime takes on the presence of a whimsical, life-sized sculpture, draped in the same glowing mosaic. Alright, those were the abstract styles I've explored for this video. I loved seeing how differently each one approached form and texture, some leaning into soft, flowing shapes, others pushing into sharp, almost architectural geometry. Whether you're working on something purely artistic or just want to experiment outside the bounds of realism, these styles can open up some really interesting directions. If any of them sparked ideas for you, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. If you'd like the full set of images and prompts from this video in PDF format, you can find them on my Patreon or Ko-fi, along with early access to future style explorations and other extras that help me keep making these deep dives. And of course, you can always subscribe here on YouTube for free if you'd like to see more videos like this. Thank you so much for watching. And let's continue prompting.